Francine Rivers' 1993 Christian novel, A Voice in the Wind, offers a stark portrayal of the persecution of early Christians under Roman rule. In the 20th anniversary edition, Rivers explains, "I became captivated by the early martyrs and the courage they displayed in dying for their faith. That led me to set the story in AD 69-70. Amid the destruction of Jerusalem, the novel's heroine, Hadassah, draws upon her faith to endure the trials that lie ahead. Hadassah grows up in Galilee with her devout Christian family. Her father, miraculously resurrected by Jesus as a child, preaches the gospel in the streets. The family's pilgrimage to Jerusalem for Passover coincides with the Roman siege of the city. In the chaos, Hadassah loses her parents and siblings. She survives but is captured and transported to Rome to be sold as a slave. Mistaken for a Jew, she is purchased by the wealthy Valerian family, becoming the personal servant of their spirited teenage daughter, Julia, under the watch of Decimus, the family patriarch, and his wife Phoebe. The story, which shifts between multiple perspectives, moves to Germania, where the chatty tribe rises against Roman authority. The Romans quell the rebellion, capturing a young warrior, Atrides, who is eventually sold to a gladiator trainer. Atrides resents the Romans, reluctantly swearing the gladiator's oath under threat of castration. Nevertheless, he proves formidable in the arena. Back in Rome, Decimus debates with his son Marcus over the 22-year-old's career ambitions. While Decimus urges political office, Marcus, self-indulgent and pleasure-driven, aspires to a life of wealth and commerce. Julia envies her brother's freedom and chafes against the restrictions imposed by her gender. To curb her restlessness, her parents arrange her marriage to Claudius, a 60-year-old widower. The union is unhappy. Julia feels no affection for Claudius and finds distraction in observing the gladiators training at the ludus. Claudius, meanwhile, develops a scholarly curiosity about Hadassah's covert Christian faith. His sudden death in a horse-riding accident leaves Julia vulnerable to Colaba, a manipulative woman. Meanwhile, Marcus, despite his wayward nature, falls in love with Hadassah, who returns his affection. Colaba introduces Julia to the charming Caius. They marry, but his abusive and unfaithful nature soon emerges. Hadassah, though a slave, shows compassion for Julia, following Christ's call to love even one's enemies, protecting her during Caius's violent outbursts. Julia discovers she is pregnant and Colaba pushes her toward abortion and even murder. Throughout Julia's trials, Hadassah prays fervently for her. Widowed again, Julia returns to her family home. Decimus's health declines, yet he becomes receptive to Hadassah's faith. She reads scripture to him, easing his suffering, and he resolves to return to Ephesus. Atrides, meanwhile, arrives in Ephesus for a pivotal gladiator match that could earn his freedom. Julia, who has admired him from afar, disguises herself at the temple of Artemis to capture his attention. Their ruse succeeds, igniting a passionate affair. As Decimus nears death, he listens to Hadassah's open testimony of faith and accepts Christ before passing. Marcus, enthralled yet puzzled by Hadassah's devotion, warns her that public faith could be dangerous. Their mutual attraction deepens and Hadassah prays for Marcus's salvation. Atrides triumphs in the arena, aiming to secure his freedom and marry Julia. Yet Colaba manipulates events, convincing Julia to wed Primus, a friend, to maintain her independence. Atrides, discovering Julia married, rejects the arrangement despite her pregnancy with his child. Julia gives birth but abandons the baby, which Hadassah entrusts to a grieving Christian woman. Marcus confesses his love for Hadassah and proposes marriage. Though she loves him, Hadassah cannot unite with someone who rejects Christ, and she refuses. Infuriated, Julia exposes Hadassah's faith publicly, sealing her fate. Sentenced to the arena, Hadassah prays to Jesus as the lions maul her, revealing the depth of her unwavering devotion. A Voice in the Wind is the first book in Rivers' Mark of the Lion trilogy. The second installment, Echo in the Darkness, continues the intertwined stories of Marcus, Julia, and Hadassah, who, by God's grace, survives the arena. The trilogy concludes with As Sure as the Dawn, focusing on Atrides and his quest to reunite with his son. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.